Okay, so looking inside our neck pocket here, we now have this very strange, it's like a silvery kind of paint. It's strange. That's definitely not the factory colour. But if you can make it out, so you can see that this is giving us our cross section of the wood here, and you can see the different layers of plywood that make up this body. You can see a lot of gaps and stuff in it, but the main thing we're going to be concerned with is if you look along the edge here, and you can see gaps here. This is like a line of tape that goes around. Now it doesn't just seem to go around the neck pocket, it potentially seems to be all over the guitar, like it was just covered in a thin layer of something. I know the really old Danelectros were essentially plywood just covered, so it's something we're going to have to be aware of sanding down. That we don't want to go through that, we really just want to take the layers of paint off. But you can really see that when they made these guitars originally back in the 60s or even 50s, they were cheap construction. So what we're going to do now is just pretty much strip everything down, take off the strap buttons, take off our control knobs, take off the bridge, then we'll start to look at removing the electronics, and once we're left with just our bare slab of wood, we'll probably do just some test scrapings, see how far we're going to have to go down, and see really what condition we're dealing with here. Well, okay, now we can see properly inside the body, and wow, it really is just plywood with a I'd say about 3 or 4 mil hard surface over it. But by the looks of it, that's good. That means sanding down shouldn't be a problem. What I thought could have been an issue with the tape thing, I think that's a later addition by whoever attempted the original refinish or repair. So the body is hollow in a lot of places. I think we're going with a solid center strip down through it. As I said, I tested the electronics and they do work. There's actually a ground wire. Pots look okay. A500K and a B500K. Caps on both. So yeah, we'll just continue stripping away and see how we get on. So if you can see here, even though I've removed the force washers, these two washers here are actually painted in place. So we'll just try and get under the surface here. They are really in there. That makes me think that these washers were put back in before the paint was fully dry, which means they are really welded in there, and there isn't even a lip to get at them from the other side. So I'll have to probably try and be as aggressive as possible and try and get them out, even though the wood is quite thin around them. So this is going to be interesting. Yeah, that wasn't as difficult as I originally made out. But again, under here we're seeing another different shade of green paint just here. And we're seeing silver inside the neck pocket. Originally, I do think these were black. And I'm looking at so many different shades of green paint here. I mean, there's a very, very dark green just inside this hole here. We've got this luminescent green. We've got a different shade of green here. We've got the silver. We've got black. We've got our two different gold colours. So it really is making me think how many different layers of paint there actually is on this. Yeah, we can even see along this hole here, it really is a couple of mil thick. So this will be interesting. So our wiring loom is free, it's all still connected, but just taking a closer look, obviously it's quite dusty and could do with a bit of a clean, but it appears as if everything is grounded to just this solder joint here. It is grounded to the bridge, and when I did test it there wasn't much hum out of it, but everything should really be grounded to one of the pots or possibly somewhere else in the guitar itself, but it's just this solder joint hanging here. The wires coming off both pickups again just seem to break off and ground there rather than to the actual parts, so that's probably something we'll have to keep an eye on and something to check on when we're wiring it all back up again. So we're going to start stripping down the electronics. We just have some white masking tape because what we're going to do is just going to make sure we mark all the grounds, the grounding wires, just with a G on them just to stop any confusion later. And because of the looks of this, it doesn't seem to follow a standard wiring colouring pattern. So we've got some of the ground wires are black, some are white, some are green. One of them looks red as well. So yeah, we'll just keep an eye on what's grounded and what isn't, and we'll just start to desolder everything and try and keep as much of it together as possible. We'll probably just desolder the ground wires and desolder the pickup selector and keep the volume, tone and output all together, because we really just need to separate the pickup wires so we can do a full dismantle.